only place to start is Manchester City and the title race. I cannot believe what we have seen at Manchester City. On some level, I think this was predictable. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that I'm not famed for my prediction quality. I know that I've made a pig's ear of certain predictions that have gone viral over the years. However, when you come off the back of winning a treble, life can be very difficult to find the motivation. And at the beginning of this season, I did predict that Arsenal would win the league. I felt like Arsenal ran City so close last year. And with City winning a treble, I just didn't know if they would be able to find the motivation. It turns out that there's something in that. And I would now like to explore the reasons why. Why are Manchester City limping? Why are they stuttering? Why are they struggling for consistency? And I wonder if we can attribute some of it to the Dwight Yorke effect. Dwight Yorke, when he won the treble with Manchester United, the following year he asked Sir Alex Ferguson for a year off. He wanted a year off on full pay because he wasn't motivated to play football again. He knew that whatever the season, whatever happened, it could never be as inspirational as what had happened the previous year. Therefore, I wonder if this Manchester City team is suffering from the Dwight Yorke effect. Are they struggling to motivate themselves? Are they struggling to find their reason? And it's got to the stage now where City are looking quite desperate. Even if they do find their rhythm, they're going to be struggling. You know, by the time they next kick a ball in the Premier League, it will be on December the 27th when they play Everton. And by that point, they could be 12 points off the lead. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they can find a way of doing it. Are they still title favourites? I'm not sure they are anymore. I think Liverpool, Arsenal, if you're a supporter of either, please do get in touch. Let me know. Surely you are now looking at the Premier League title as being wide open because people keep predicting, don't they, that Manchester City are going to find their rhythm. Manchester City are going to find that run, and at some point, Manchester City will go on a 12, 13, 14, 15 game winning streak that will secure them the title. But I don't think they will. The team that was able to do that was so much better than this team. You know, the team that was able to do that had players like İlkay Gündoğan in the starting lineup, players like Riyad Mahrez, who had been there, done it, knew what it was about, and were elite footballers. This team are not as good. You cannot rely on players like Núñez, players like Kovacic, players like Bob to get you over the line time and time again. And there is now a vulnerability to this Manchester City team. So if you are a Liverpool fan or an Arsenal fan, please do get in touch. And I now have a question to ask. I'm not even sure where I sit on this one. There is no jeopardy around Manchester City's ability to qualify for the Champions League, is there? There is no chance that Manchester City could actually drop out of qualification for the Champions League. I don't think that is a possibility for them, surely. But when you think about where they are, they have given up a 2-goal lead for the first time in 82 games. Every other time, 82 wins in a row for Manchester City when they have found themselves 2-0 up and they have given it up. They now have a distraction. They're flying off to Saudi Arabia to play in the Club World Cup. I imagine that the atmosphere in the squads amongst the fan base is going to be fairly dejected, and they're now going to play and try and win the Club World Cup. I rate the Club World Cup. I like it. I actually flew to Tokyo to watch Chelsea compete in the Club World Cup when we won the European Cup in 2012. I was desperate for us to win it that day, but we lost to Corinthians. It's a trophy that I respect. It's a trophy that I love, and it's a trophy that I'm very proud that Chelsea have won. But I don't think it has the prestige. I don't think that Manchester City necessarily need it now, and I wonder if this is going to be seen as a bit of a distraction for the club. There is a complacency around them. I think Pep Guardiola recently actually got slightly annoyed, didn't he, with certain pundits for saying that this Manchester City team feel complacent. But I think there is a complacency to them. You know, drawing to Crystal Palace, when Crystal Palace could barely put out 11 senior players, it really isn't the behaviour of a treble-winning team. It really isn't the behaviour of a team that are going to end this season as champions. So I really do want to know where you sit on this one, but I think that there is a vulnerability to City, and I also think that if you're an Arsenal fan now, you have to be looking at this title as being there for the taking. It is yours if you want it. If this Arsenal team generally have the minerals, the fight, the hunger, the desire, the will to win, and the desperation to get their hands on that Premier League trophy, I believe that it will be theirs. And at the moment, I can't really see anyone standing in their way. There is something not quite right about this Manchester City side. And with that in mind, I wonder if they're actually going to now capitulate further.